Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, I want to speak more specifically to the beginning guitar players. And I see this problem sometimes even with intermediate guitar players as well. And it has to do with inadvertently choking notes off. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's say that we were just playing, something simple like a blues scale. What I hear a lot, and what I hear the tendency to do, is to play the notes very short. Okay, and let's just break it down. Let's just say that we're going to deal with the 8th and the 5th fret. You know what? Better yet, yeah, 8th and the 5th fret here. So we have the 8th fret and the 5th fret. What you want is for the 8th fret note to ring out as long as possible. So when you go from the 8th to the 5th fret, notice that what I'm doing is I'm playing the 8th fret, but I'm sort of planning ahead. And I've got a finger on the 5th fret. And what I'm going to try to do is when I lift that pinky up and strike that note, I don't want to have a big gap. I don't want where there's a big gap between the notes. And where that tends to come from is, I'll say, slow movement. If I lift my pinky off slowly, it's going to kill the note in the process. If I put my pinky back down slowly, it's going to kill the note in the process. So no matter how you approach it, you want to try to line up so that when your finger moves either on or off the fret, that it does it quickly, and that your pick follows right along just behind it, right? Of course, if we pick too soon, it's going to clunk, but you want to be just after it. So you want to try to get those two notes to connect as good as you possibly can. Now, when both of the notes are on one string, you can do this. Let's say it was the 7th and the 5th, or the 5th. Let's do the 5th and the 3rd. Doesn't matter, right? We want to practice, count it nice and slow, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you should get, the notes should ring out nicely, not 1 and 2 and where that is blank. 3 and 4 and more like 1 and so it goes instantly from one note to the next. And you can practice that on each string. This is not something that I want you to spend a half an hour on each day. That would be silly. But if you give it just a couple of minutes, it'll improve the technique a little bit along. You focus on it for a couple of minutes, and then you forget about it and you go on with your day. Over the course of a month, voila, you're playing things smoother. That's just kind of how it works. But what happens if we need to change strings, right? Let's say we're going from the 3rd fret on the 1st string to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Again, notice that I'm going to put my finger down and pluck right at the same time. So we don't want we want nice ringing. 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the more you get used to this, the more it'll carry as you play faster, and it won't be instead of. And that'll give you a smoother sound in general, and just an overall, it's just more pleasant to listen to, okay? And it does improve your technique. It's the kind of thing where if you can play this way, then your technique is better and everything sounds better, right? So that's it. It's just a little something to practice on. Not a big crazy lesson today. That's all there is to it. As always, if you're watching this on Facebook, please subscribe to the Blues Guitar Unleashed channel. If you're on the Facebooks, follow Blues Guitar Unleashed. Of course, if you have friends that are learning to play and this would be useful, feel free to share it with them. My name is Griff Hamlin, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.